How many boogaloos did the messenger and pilgrim have?
How many? 10? What? So what the heck is a boogaloo?
What's up, boogaloos? My name is Hannah, and here is my co-host Cleo.
Ayo. Okay, so today we are gonna be talking about necromancy
and
demons. Yeah. Alright, so we will be looking at this text that is written by this guy around this time.
That's right.
Yeah. Alright, Hannah, give us a summary for all of us in the room who didn't read this.
Well, we are reading an excerpt from the whole poem. It's a very long poem, and this excerpt alone is exciting enough. So here we are with this pilgrim, pilgriming, and along comes his messenger, supposedly from the king. The messenger tells the pilgrim to come with me to this mansion, and the pilgrim's like, what's that? So the messenger tells him that it's a school, and since it was this character called Covetousness who asked the messenger to attend that school, she must have asked the pilgrim to attend it too.
Sorry, stop. Is this supposed to be a narration, or did they actually talk to each other like this?
It's actually literally happening in the poem, so they have headers that say messenger and pilgrim. They're actually having a conversation in the poem. So the whole poem is a conversation.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So like us right now, instead of having a presentation, we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
Instead, it's like a two-way kind of thing, like how necromancy is a two-way thing. Okay, yeah, please go on. Yeah.
Yes. So, okay, the pilgrim's like, nah, didn't get no memo, and the messenger was very confused because, unless covetousness asks you to go to school, you don't go to the school. There's no way that people can attend that school. So then he proceeds to give the pilgrim an open house showcase of what he has learned, conjuring figures and characters in the circle of his magic. So, after the messenger was done, the pilgrim replied, no, this is bad, evil, and harmful, and you're a bad guy.
Sure.
That last bit we added in ourselves. Now, the messenger actually concurred, but he counters with the fact that the magic he was using was actually beneficial. He can get the spirits to obey him since they think that he's the king's messenger.
That makes sense, but wait, is he actually the king's messenger?
He did try to ask, but the king wouldn't give him permission.
To be his messenger?
Yep.
Okay, what a liar.
Precisely what the pilgrim said. He yelled treason for misusing the king's name for his own purpose and declared that the messenger ought to be punished. The messenger once again concedes, okay, fair, but hey, I'm in good company with these people who've used the magic before me. Okay, so then after that he tries to lure the pilgrim to that mansion once again, which the pilgrim's like, no, it's dangerous, neither of us should be going there.
Coward.
Fair, but you see why later. The pilgrim then relays the story of the Duke of Fritz, who he thought was very similar to the messenger. The Duke figured more people were going to hell rather than heaven, and decides, I'm gonna go join them. Besides, the pilgrim refutes, some of the people that the messenger name dropped were actually repentant afterwards, something that the pilgrim bids the messenger do as well.
Right, so did the messenger actually repent or anything?
The messenger went, yeah, you make a good point. This guy has been very patient and very polite. But then he refuses to repent because he's too attached and in too deep with his school. He says, I can't just suddenly disappear. All my friends are there. I can't find it in my heart to repent, is what he says. He also says that his stuff are all stuck, left in the school, so...
Wow, such excuses. I mean, props to him for standing his ground and defending his point of view, but wow.
The next thing we know, the mistress of the school appears and asks the pilgrim if she could show him her powers.
So polite.
Must ask, right? But then afterwards, she declared that she was gonna chop his head off. Yep. So the pilgrim then sees the dove and he realizes that's my chance of escape.
So he runs away?
I think he walks.
Slowly?
Yeah.
Okay. Strange man. Anyway, thanks for that summary. I think that was very comprehensive.
Well, I think hopefully enough for our presentation.
Definitely. Well, at least it's quite clear what the pilgrim thinks of necromancy, that it's bad and everything.
But is it bad because it goes against religion, or bad because it's a crime?
I think it's quite interesting because the text doesn't seem very focused on it being bad in a religious sense.
Right.
But neither does it talk about being bad in a moral sense. It's kind of more focused on the fact that it's bad because the messenger is using the king's name to trick the spirits into doing his bidding.
What do you mean?
Well, like I said, it seems that the pilgrim is more focused on the messenger's act of cheating and not the demonic nature of the art of necromancy itself. So, Hannah, we mentioned earlier how the messenger was actually a liar, falsely commanding the spirits with the king's authority. And in the pilgrim speaking part from like this line onwards, he pretty much tears the messenger a new one for about 3 very long stanzas.
Yeah.
The first and the third are about the messenger's wrongdoing in summoning spirits in the name of the king when he doesn't actually have the permission.
Yeah, he asked the king for permission, but the king didn't want to give it to him.
Right, exactly. And it's only in the second stanza where the pilgrim talks about how the messenger now bears the mark of the devil and you're now in allegiance to the devil because he performed these falsehoods. So you can see from how he spent so long going on about the lying as compared to the whole devil and religion thing, it really shows which one he's more concerned about.
Yeah, and you can see that in that first and third stanzas you were mentioning, the words like punished or pain, which also means punishment, appear, while words about punishment are missing from the second stanza. This seems to insinuate that being in cahoots with the devil, which is what the second stanza is about, is not punishable, and it seems to be more severe to have committed crimes against authority than in the religious sense.
So the understanding of necromancy as a demonic act is now undermined and not so much religiously evil, but more criminally wrong.
Yeah, like we can see that the program doesn't actually explain what's so bad about using the art, right? He keeps using words like damage and no good and harm, but not explaining what this harm the spirit's intent is. And comparatively, the messenger specifies the plus points of using these spirits by using words like magnify or increase or multiply. You know, these words are more specific as to what good it can bring. And if the pilgrim wants to make a point about how bad it is, why don't he tell us more instead of just vaguely telling us it's no good?
Right, exactly. So the focus seemed to be more on the crime or the wrongdoing of the messenger by cheating and robbing people instead of the use of necromancy. So it's kind of undermining the religiousness of necromancy as well and kind of diving more into the issue of morality.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. This poem is now kind of making me question necromancy. What exactly is evil about it? Because further on in the poem, later we see the messenger and the pilgrim have a discussion on how the messenger got his powers. In this line, the pilgrim asks by what power the messenger conjures the spirits, clearly showing that he cares more about how the messenger got into conjuring spirits than the fact that he's actually conjuring spirits.
So the messenger starts by claiming that his use of this art is not wrong or evil since he's in good company with people who have practiced this art over and over. And then he name drops Virgil and Solomon and all these good people. And then he says, since all these people are good, so therefore, my use of necromancy is good as well. And in fact, he even goes on to claim that it's not dangerous, it's not in reward so perilous, dreadful, nor superstitious.
Yeah, but how about the pilgrim? What was his response?
Well, the pilgrim thought it was a good idea to counter the messenger with his own words. So he says that yes, these men that you mentioned are good because they turned from their ways to martyrdom for Christ after they finished doing whatever magic they needed to do. So again, he's clearly emphasizing here that using necromancy is bad and gives this religious example of how people should repent after using it. But he never actually addressed what is so religiously bad about necromancy itself.
And the messenger clearly thinks that using necromancy is good simply because of those good people in history who use them. He never considers what necromancy is in the first place. He thinks about it in terms of its users.
Yeah, and ultimately they're discussing whether it is right of them to have or own that power, completely ignoring the fact that necromancy itself, could be something that is demonic or evil or wrong. And this kind of destabilizes our understanding of necromancy because what is more important here, the inherent evilness of necromancy or using a power that you don't rightfully own.
So, in conclusion, our argument is this: the art of necromancy as religiously evil is undermined in this text due to the text's focus on the legitimacy of the user than the art itself. Both the messenger and the pilgrim keep referring to how the messenger is using the art, completely overlooking that he is conjuring spirits in the first place.
Yeah, and the fact that the excerpt was purely conversational and not a narration is also quite interesting because it kind of really gives you the impression that, oh, it's gonna be a good versus evil kind of dynamic, but then you realize that both the arguments are kind of morally problematic. So I guess we're all going to hell.
So again, by emphasizing that using necromancy is wrong rather than necromancy being wrong in itself, this poem shows that perhaps necromancy isn't all that evil after all, contrary to popular understanding.
I mean, necromancy is usually associated with witchcraft and black magic, which is again associated with evil and selfish purposes. I mean, even in this class, we position it in the same teaching week with demons, creatures from hell. So, guys, we'd like to challenge y'all at home to think, is necromancy inherently an immoral art? Especially since it involves talking to spirits and crossing the boundary between the living and the dead.
And secondly, in this excerpt, necromancy is associated with greed and covetousness. How does that complicate the reading of necromancy in relation to religion? Well, that's it from us. Just tune in next time when we talk about angels. And nope, we're not gonna do that. But if you
The mortal instruments.
Tune in next time to listen to whatever we have to talk about in medieval literature. But till that time, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, give us an A+, whatever you like. And we'll see you again. Bye!